If this is what life sounds like, then this is what the world is. Got pinched between the whole zeitgeist, found out true religion ain't nothing but some old jeans. Struggling through the whole thing. I might need me a refund, cause I can't fit in these things. I spend too much on the floss. Shine me down for the gloss. The cost is way too expensive. The facts is keeping us lost. I'm looking for the old meaning to get us out of this teaching. They tell me that I'm too wrong, or maybe that I'm too preachy. Hello, listener. Inconsistently Consistent podcast. I'm Erik, better known as Everything Real is Known. Welcome to another episode of Inconsistently Consistent. This time is preachy than a motherfucker. I got a question. I actually, no, fuck that. Before I start, I'm going to start with a statement first. Wait. Before I start with the statement, this how excited I am for this. You know what I'm saying? Before I start with the statement, let me say this. Before we get started, I'm not responsible for the shit that's gonna happen on this episode, okay? So if some shit just happened to happen out of nowhere, I said that happened to happen. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere, I'm not responsible for the shit. I just want you to know. I just want you to know that this is how it's about to go down. But let's get it started. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? The 10 Commandments is bullshit. I gotta call bullshit when I see it. The reason why I say it's bullshit is because, man, there was only fucking 10 commandments that Moses got. He couldn't get no other 10 commandments. He couldn't get no other commandments to fit, you know, and it's such a broad deal. It's just, you know, these rules that we as people have to live by, right? But the thing is that we're all different. We're all different people. God knew that. So why would he only make 10 commandments for us all to follow? I mean, you know, one of the commandments we can go into, you know, thou shalt not steal. Well, shit, what if I need to steal to feed my family? Should I just not go, or should I just not do it because, you know, God's gonna make a way? Is that what I'm waiting on? You know, while my family is starving, I gotta tell my family, you know, God gonna make a way for us. We straight. Don't worry about it. Not gonna steal. We gonna be straight. Eat some more air sandwiches. You know what I mean? So I want to dive into this episode, and I want to touch on this. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, man, here we are as people so many years later, and we're still following after these same rules that Moses got handed on the rock. And let me be clear. Let me ask a question. Did Moses' hand start to hurt when God was giving out the commandments? Was his hand starting to hurt and he only wrote 10 and came back down the mountain and was like, look. Yo, God has said, these is the 10 commandments. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask me for shit else. My hand is hurting at this point in time. You know what I mean? Like, what was that conversation like when God was having that conversation with Moses and he laid out the 10 commandments? What was that conversation like? What did he hear? You know, they say that God came and he heard God and he heard the voice of God, and this is what he was told. And he, you know what I'm saying, chiseled these 10 commandments into this rock, and boom, there we go. The 10 commandments that we all have to follow as people. And I gotta wonder, is God sitting up there laughing at us because we are really trying to hold ourselves to these 10 rules that we shouldn't do? And you know, we're going to get into the rules as well. I want to go over the rules each, you know, one by one. I already let one out the bag, but that's just because my ass be stealing. So sometimes I'll be stealing shit. You know what I mean? I don't have no control over my sticky fingers. You know, I have stories of when I've stolen and it just didn't go right. You know what I mean? God might have been telling me at that point in time that, look here. Erik, what you're stealing right now is bullshit. You're not following my 10 commandments, and what you stealing, this candy bar, that's some bullshit. So I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to slap your wrist. I'm gonna have to make sure that you follow these other commandments that I got that's surrounding thou shalt not steal. That's why I started with that one. Just only because I know me personally. I know I steal. I have stolen before. I've got caught, and it's just not a good look. But one of the other commandments, and only reason why I know these is because I've committed them. And then what happens if you don't follow these commandments and all of a sudden, you kicked out of heaven? You know what I'm saying? You don't follow these rules, you kicked out of heaven. When you die, you don't go to heaven. You might get sent to hell. Because honestly, look. We don't know. We don't know where we go after we gone. Nobody has come back from the dead and told us that this is what's happening. This is where we go. Make sure you do this so this doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, right? We're just beings that are following, and we want to do the right thing. I was talking with my wife, and I asked her, I was like, do you feel like the 10 Commandments is bullshit? And she, with a straight face, as straight as can be, she looked at me and she said, no, I don't think it's bullshit. I think it's rules that was set that we had to follow. But I got to question it, because I'm like, we're following rules that was, way back in the day, BC, AD. Shit, I don't know what time. I don't know when it was exactly. This is just what was told to me. That's why I got to call it bullshit, just because I feel like in so many instances, that's the norm. That's the norm, just to tell you, that this is what's happening. That's the norm. This is happening here. You should follow it. This is why you don't want to do that, because this is going to happen to you. I feel like that's what a lot of people have put a lot of fear mongering into the system. Or what if the 10 Commandments wasn't even the 10 Commandments? What if over the years, you ever play that game of fucking like when you whisper in someone's ear, and game of telephone, that's what it is. You whisper in someone's ear and you tell them, hey, and you tell them what it is, whatever your secret is, and they go tell your secret to the next person. By the time it gets to the last person, that shit's all fucked up. So again, through years and years of talking and adjusting and fixing and these rules, what if man, and again, I'm not going to sit there and say that man is not selfish. Man is very selfish. Man is very selfish in the fact of, or I should say humans. No, yeah, let's go humans. Because it's some selfish ass women out there. It's some selfish ass women. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, okay, we are selfish humans, right? And being that we're selfish humans, okay, maybe we might have changed one of the rules to fit us perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Just we wanted to make sure that shit fit us perfectly, so it made our lives a little easier, a little better. You know what I mean? It's like when you really think about like these big wigs and and I know I'm jumping off the topic, but I gotta give it to you. I gotta give you all of my thoughts. I gotta let you in on this thing up here, right? Because I'm touching on a subject that I know I'm finna rub a gang of motherfuckers the wrong way. But I gotta say it. Because it's on my mind. Okay? So it's just like the big wigs up at the top, right? The people who are the money makers. They set the rules. They're the tastemakers. They set the rules. They tell us what's good, what's not good, what brand is great, what brand is not great, because they got all the money. They have all the power. So you mean to tell me over all this time, out of all these years, that not one person said, you know what? I gotta make one of these 10 rules fit to me over the years. Or what if, just outside of the box, right? What if every year it was a different Moses and he came up with a different rule for the next 10 years? I got all these scenarios and I got all these questions in my head because I just feel like the 10 Commandments is such bullshit. You know what I mean? I mean, you got all these different types of people in the world, and we got to follow just 10 fucking rules. That's it. But these 10 rules can definitely not fit everybody's mold. Like, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not steal, and thou shalt not lie. Here's another one. Thou shalt not lie, right? We shouldn't be out here lying. We shouldn't be out here telling, tales, tall tales. And I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I haven't lied. I've lied my ass off. When the right situation has come along, I've lied. I've, maybe I put maybe I put 100 on 10 or something like that, But I'm human enough, I'm man enough to be able to tell you that that's some shit that I've done. I've lied. But what if, just thinking outside the box again. Matter of fact, just so you know that this episode is going to be filled with a bunch of what ifs. You know what I'm saying? I should name this motherfucker Marvel's What If, Inconsistently Consistent Edition. Like, because it's just going to be a bunch of scenarios, a bunch of what ifs, in regards to these 10 commandments that we have to follow. Okay? So now, back to my topic, back to what I was saying. Okay? What if there was somebody out there who is lying to keep from dying, right? Or lying to keep their job, or lying to for whatever reason. It's gonna benefit them. The lie is gonna benefit them in the best possible way. You know what I mean? Like, why does the media lie? It's got to be a lie because it's trying to get them in the best possible position so they can tell you that lie. We always say this as well, too. The lie is way better. It's way better than the truth. The truth is boring. Nobody wants to hear the truth. We want the lie. Give us the lie. And that shit will spread like wildfire. That's the crazy part. The lie will spread like wildfire, and the truth, it just sits on the fucking table. It never goes anywhere. It never gets legs. So how are we supposed to buckle? Or we're supposed to, I wouldn't even say buckle, right? Because I'd say majority of this shit for me is like, I just don't feel like we have to follow these 10 rules. I feel like it's more rules out there that we need to follow. Or maybe we just don't do it. Maybe we do away with all the rules. Maybe we don't have any rules, right? Maybe we just live our lives and that's the way we live. I know what you're getting ready to say. You're getting ready to say that the world would be chaos and it'd be fucking anarchy if there was no rules to follow. We need structure. And I believe in that. I believe in the structure. I do. But again, 10 rules for every different person. I mean, how many people do we have on Earth? At last time I checked, last time somebody told me, or last time I heard, it was like 7 billion. I don't know. We might have, cut the billion down. You know what I'm saying? We might not be at the billion no more, thanks to Covet and thanks to the rest of the shit that happened now. We might not be at a billion no more. We might not be at that 7 billion no more. But it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of different scenarios. So how do we hold ourselves inside of this box of these 10 rules? That's the crazy part, right? Or what if there was more than just the 10? Have you ever thought about that? What if God was telling Moses these 10 commandments, and what if Moses just didn't write the rest of them down? Or you ever been in a meeting? You ever been in a meeting and I'm victim of it too, right? I'm in a meeting, virtual meeting, what have you. You ever been in a meeting and the person that's giving the meeting or hosting the meeting, they're talking so fast, or they're talking really, really low, or the communication is broken somehow. So you end up not writing down some of the most important shit that you need to write down. You don't write it down. You're like, you know what? Fuck it. I didn't write it down. I'll be all right. I'll ask Brad in accounting. I'll ask Julia in the next cubicle over. Hey, did you get all the notes? I couldn't hear. What if it was a scenario like that? What if it was a situation where that's what happened? The communication was broken. God came through the clouds. He hit the mountain. He was like, look, I got these commandments I want you to, I got these commandments I want you to write down. You get your tablet, and get your stone. I'm getting ready to hand you down these commandments. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Did you get that? Did you get that? And Moses is like, yeah, I'm finna write this shit that's gonna benefit me. I didn't hear what the fuck you said, God, but I'm gonna write this shit. And then this is what we gonna go by. I'm gonna come back down the mountain. We gonna be all good. We gonna be square. You know what I mean? Like, could the communication be broken at that point in time when that shit was being given out? I mean, we got cell phones that break communication all the time. Me personally, if I don't want to talk to you, I'm just going to say, hey, I'm breaking up. Sorry. You know what? I'm in a tunnel. You gonna tell me there were no tunnels back in the day? They never built no tunnels, but they was banging out shit on stones, so there wasn't no tunnels? What if Moses was in a tunnel? You know? What if he was sitting in a tunnel and the communication was broken somehow? I mean, through God, everything is possible, right? This is what he said he heard. This is what he broke down to us. You know, this is what we got. So who am I? You know, again, I'm going to buck the system, obviously, and I'm going to, you know, look at the status quo. Just because I feel like, man, how do we sit and we follow these 10 rules, regardless of the fact? How do we sit and we follow these 10 rules and nobody ever questions them? And not only that, here's my other thought, right? Here's another expounding thought, right? And I know some of y'all probably gonna get on me, but that's fine. I don't care. I want all the smoke. Let's go. I want to figure out this situation, and I want to figure out what is the real big deal here. Okay? So we got all these different variations of the Bible. We got all these different variations. I'm just wondering, by all the variations that went through, did they really get all of the fucking commandments the correct way? Like, I mean, it's so many questions that I gotta ask in regards to these 10 commandments that is not even funny. And I just question it. I question it because man and human, we're selfish. We're selfish beings, and we know what we're doing when we do something. We have a purpose. We have a meaning behind it all. This meaning might not fit every last one of us, but if we the ones in power, if we the ones that got the cash, or we the ones in power, I guess, so to speak, we can make up the rules, right? We've tried this system of majority rules and we're gonna buck the system. We've tried that, and I've seen it play out. We've seen it recently play out. So why don't we ever question what's being given to us? The information, is it clear? Is it right there? Is it precise? Is it to the T? Are we playing a game of telephone, right? We never think about these things when information is passed to us. In most cases, what we do, we just trust the shit. A lot of us don't even verify, and me included. Look, I'm gonna tell you what I haven't verified on, right? Some of y'all probably gonna say I don't have the right to talk about this because I'm gonna be honest, I never cracked the Bible. I know what's in it, but I've never cracked the Bible. I've never done it. But I know a lot of y'all is gonna say, well, then you can't really speak on this. You can't really speak on that shit because you ain't never cracked the Bible. Hey, I know what's being told. You ain't gonna tell me that the 10 Commandments ain't talked about on TV, talked about throughout history, throughout school. You're not gonna tell me in church, you're not gonna tell me that the 10 Commandments is not something that is being talked about. That's something that's being talked about, regardless of the fact. So it's something that I'd like to debate and I'd like to talk about because I feel like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Only 10? Only 10? And then here's another scenario. Here's another scenario. I'm up. Listen, I'm on the mountain with Moses and God at this point in time. I'm up there. I'm chilling. Okay. I'm watching this shit play out. Moses' hands, well, they just start hurting after a while. I mean, you're talking about a guy who is banging on stone, carving out words for everybody to follow. And this is like my drink, that's a tall fucking order. That's a tall, tasty order that you gotta fulfill. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, God came through and was like, yo, let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese. let me just get a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, I just want my bacon lightly crisped. I want my bread toasted. Okay? And I want my egg scrambled with a little cheese. Just a little cheese in it. It's not like that. You got a tall fucking order that everybody is supposed to follow for the rest of their lives. That's a tall fucking order. So it goes back to saying, like, okay, he got to get it right. So you're trying to tell me within that time of him doing everything that his hand doesn't hurt by banging stone to stone, banging all this shit to get these 10 commandments out, his hand doesn't hurt? Come on, somebody come in the comments and please tell me, break this shit down for me, because I mean, I can't, right? I gotta question this shit. So we touched on two scenarios, 2 commandments, I should say, not scenarios. We touched on 2 commandments. So let's see. So you shall have no other good or no other gods. Oh, I'm fucking up. I said no other goods. But you know what? Let's expound, goddammit. Let's deep dive. We do put goods in front of God. You know what I'm saying? I know we missing the O out of God, you know, but us as consumers, right? We do put goods over God. We think that the technology that we are consuming and the technology that we're playing with, it's somehow God. It's God, and God said it was okay. So you know what I'm saying? Let the good times roll. But in regards to that, he says in one of the first that no other God should be before him. God is jealous as shit. God is jealous as shit. You know what I'm saying? He don't, you know what I'm saying? He don't play no other God. He don't play them games. You know what I mean? Don't put no other gods before him. I could roll with that, but it sounds a little jelly. It sounds just a little jelly. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. Let's see. All right. You shall not make idols. Yeah. Everybody going to hell. I mean, because me included, we look at false prophets and idols all fucking day long, right? And the 9 times out of 10, where we're at as humans right now, right, in 2022, our idols is the entertainers. we let entertainers dictate most of the shit that we do. Like we let entertainment, or the entertainers, I should say, we let entertainers into politics. We let entertainers make decisions for us, like major decisions. Not to say that entertainers don't got a point or they don't have, you know, something to talk about. I'm not gonna say that. But I mean, goddamn, like, you know, we just kind of blurring the lines of what's right and what's wrong. So, you know, as far as like the idols, we fucked on that. we are fucked. We idolize people, and I do it too. So I'm not gonna sit there and say that I don't do it, or I don't idolize nobody. That's bullshit. I do. I idolize people. I'm sorry. It's just, I guess, you know, the envy and the jealousy, which we'll get to those in a minute. I guess it's just the fact that you want to look at somebody, you want to see what they got. You want to mirror what they got. You want to have your shit better. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we do idolize people for what they've done or what they've accomplished for us as people. whatever it might be. It might be something as simple as they put out a nice song and we fucking loved it. It changed our lives. So we're all about them right now, you know? So that's one thing. Oh shit. Oh shit. You shall not take the Lord's name in vain. Yeah, I definitely done done that. But it's gonna be as simple as this. It's gonna be as simple as this, right? I'm talking about this episode and I'm bringing up the 10 Commandments and I'm talking about all these different things, right? And somebody might say, you know, you're taking the Lord's name in vain, yada, 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 you know. Bah, 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 bah. When you stub that big ass toe and you walking around or something happens that throws your day off and you say, God damn it, you're taking the Lord's name in vain. So, and you're not going to sit here, listener, okay? This is me and you, okay? You're not going to sit here and tell me that you've never done it or you've never, you know, used the Lord's name in vain just in, you know what I'm saying, mashed his name up with a cuss word, and then here we go. You're not going to tell me that you've never done that. This, you know what I'm saying? So if we don't follow these 10 commandments, right, we're supposed to go to a place that's not so holy. We talk about hell, right? We're going to a place that's not so holy. This is what we're held to. In your afterlife, when you die, nobody can tell you, but they're going to tell you, hey, while you living here, I'm going to tell you where you're going to go. How the fuck does that work? I got to ask, how does that work? How do we get to that point where someone that's living can tell someone who's fucking up that's living where they're going? You're going to hell. You're going to heaven. You're doing a good job. Like, this shit's asinine to me. I mean, to me. But again, I got questions. This is the reason why I got questions. You know what I mean? So, all right. Remember the Sabbath day. Keep it holy. So we talk about Sunday. I thought about that because I used to upload my podcast on Sunday, on the Lord's Day. You know what I mean? I wanted you to get right. I wanted you to listen right out of church, right, fresh out of Sunday service. Get all of this ignorance. Get all of it, you know? But I thought about it and I said, you know what? I'm going to change my day. And that's when it came about. And I changed my day. And I said, you know what? I'm going to change my day, see how it goes. And shockingly, it's actually been doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just the Lord saying, hey, you wasn't supposed to be working on my day. Maybe. I mean, you know what I mean? He might be holding me to something. You know what I'm saying? By me changing the date from the seventh day, Sunday, you know? All right. Next one. Honor thy mother and father. Yeah. Yeah. You should, but you don't, right? Because kids, we're going to do. Damn, did I just say weird like I'm a kid? I ain't no kid. I swear to God, I'm older. I'm a man. I swear, I'm a man. So, as kids, they're going to do what they want to do, right? Us being parents, we want to tell them, we want to steer them away from shit. We want to tell them, hey, we've been through it. That's not something that you should be doing. You know what I mean? We've been down that road before. You should listen to me because I got a little bit more knowledge. But kids is going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. They're going to go which way they want to go. They have to learn themselves. And again, you're not going to tell me that back in the day that every kid was just a perfect little angel and they followed this rule. They followed this rule to a fucking T. Honoring thy mother and father. Shit, kids was getting sent off to war back in the day. So where how did that make any types of sense? Kids was being sent off to war, but they had to honor thy mother and father as well and listen to mother and father. I mean, shit, these kids seen some shit. So, I mean, at this point, like, goddamn, these kids done seen some shit. So, again, I might listen to you. I might not listen to you. So that one, I like it. Because I do want my kids to follow what the fuck I'm saying. You know what I mean? I want to lay down the law. All right? You best to listen to me. But if my kids don't, or if for some reason they choose to go a different way, that's okay too, right? I want them to honor me, but shit, what if I'm not being honorable? what if I'm a piece of shit and I'm not honorable, okay? What if I'm not being so goddamn honorable? And that goes for mothers too, you know what I mean? What if as parents, we're not being so honorable for the kid to look up to us, to honor us? What the hell? I don't even want to get on some negative shit and be like, well, damn, what if the parents is just outright just, you know where I'm going. I don't even got to say the shit. You know exactly where I'm going. What if the parents is fill in the fucking blanks? So what if that's happening? Are the kids still supposed to honor? And if they don't, they got hell hanging over their head. So, I mean, these rules that we have to follow, right? They hold us to so much weight. They hold us to so much weight as people. And people really, 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 really feel strongly attached to these 10 rules without even questioning or without even thinking about it. This is what we're to follow. But like I keep saying over and over and over, every scenario, every person, we're all different. We're not the same. We're all different people. So how can we follow these rules into the T and try to avoid going to hell? How? This not this. I mean, it can be done. I'm not saying it can't be done. It might be very hard, but again, this is what we got. Let's keep moving. You shall not murder. Well, okay, a lot of people is probably, going to hell for this one. But again, it just brings up the scenario, right? What if I'm murdering to save my own life? Should I just let this person murder me? And what if they don't murder me? What if they injure me really, really bad because, the man upstairs said it wasn't that time. So you gonna have to stay down there. You got some more work to do. You know what I mean? So in every scenario, in every situation, that definitely plays a part, right? It plays a part. Everybody is different. We cannot be so, confined to these rules because, I don't know, me personally, I just like breaking rules. So I just like breaking the rules, or I like testing the limits. I'm that kid that's gonna put my hand over the stove and see whether or not I could touch down. I just got to. That's just me. You don't have to be like me. I got questions. I've always had questions. They're just coming out now. Preachy. So, thou shalt not murder at all. Damn. What if a situation is happening? You know what I mean? I guess that's why they call it the court of law. You judge by 12. You might be carried by 6. If you die. So I mean, maybe that's why we got courts and But hey, the courts wasn't thought about when these rules came into play. Let's be clear. It wasn't no damn courts. It wasn't none of this carried by fucking 6 and judged by 12 and all of this bullshit. It wasn't none of that. So let's be clear, okay? Let's not go there. So none of this shit was thought of at that point in time. This is when it's thought of. I'm thinking of it now in 2022. Actually, I've been thinking about it for a while. This is just the episode that is spilled out on. You just happen to be privy to my motherfucking thoughts and how I think up here, from time to time. But I got questions. I'm sorry. I got questions. What you gonna do about it? Thou shalt not commit adultery. I'm going to hell. I don't fit the mold, right? So I'm a sinner. I've done my deed. I fucked up. Only thing I can do is ask for forgiveness and hope and pray that, that things get better over time, or I'm able to fix things over time. But I feel like we all make mistakes. And I know the women is about to get on me and they about to be like, that's what all niggas say. All niggas say that. Yeah, you made a mistake. I know you're ready to get on my ass and tell me, hey, all men say that they made a mistake. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I can't speak for all men. I can only speak for myself by saying, you know what I'm saying? I made a mistake. I fucked up. Okay, I slip up from time to time. I gotta get my shit together. You know what I mean? So what are you gonna do? That's just how it goes, right? So again, I'm striking out like a motherfucker. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the one that got the problem with the rules, right? I'm the one that got the problem with the rules, but when I meet the maker, when I go up there, he's gonna be like, so I remember that episode you did. You had some problems with my 10 commandments. You couldn't follow them. So let me show you how I get down. but God is not a vengeful God. That's what we've been told too. So, you know, maybe he might be like, man, you didn't know any better. Let me show you something. You know what I'm saying? Let me take you under my wing. Let me show you something. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to help you out, you know? So the next one is you shall not bear falsehoods over your neighbors, you know, or against your neighbors. No falsely hoods. You can't be telling lies. But remember, the lie is always better than the truth. And what if your neighbor, you know, what if you got a caring for a neighbor? You know, you might not want that neighbor to be your neighbor. Or what if that neighbor's got like roaches or mice and you don't really want them to be there? So you might tell a tall tale about them in regards to getting them out because, you know, you just want to make sure that you good. You know what I'm saying? It's all about you at the end of the day. You know, we talk about being selfish. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to do shit for yourself, you know? So you might have to tell a falsehood, okay, on your neighbor. That might happen. There's nothing you can do about that. You know, you gotta take it. This is what's happening right now. And last but not least, out of the last 10 commandments is thou shalt not covet. Now, I purposely left that one for the last because look, I don't know every damn thing, right? So that's something I don't know nothing about. So I want to do some more research. I should have did some research for this show. Find out exactly what covet is. You know what I mean? But in all fairness, you know, I talk a lot of shit on this microphone. I talk a lot of shit to you guys in regards to this podcast, in regards to this episode. You know, here's the thing. I feel like God gave us reasons, not religion. That's what I really think God gave us. He gave us choices that we have to make on a daily basis, whether to go right or left, wrong or right. He gave us the choices. I don't really feel like he gave us the religion. I think that was something that was made up and something that just came in the picture and we all just start following it because we need structure. We need to have some type of structure to prevent the chaos. So we need it. And I'm not against it. I love God. I have my own relationship with God. So it's not like I'm blasphemous and I'm like, you know, I'm not an atheist or anything like that. I don't, you know, so don't go there. That's not the point. The point is I really feel like God gave us reasons. He didn't give us religion. And what's so crazy about that and me doing this episode is I literally seen that saying on a bumper sticker. And it stuck out to me. I see some of the craziest shit while I'm out. Or I hear from people that provide me some of the craziest things, some of the most astounding things that I've heard in life, just throughout my life. So that's why I come here and I share that information with you. I let you know, hey, this is what I learned. This is what I'm hearing. But along the way, some of the old ways and some of the old things that we've done it doesn't always fit for today's times. Some of this shit needs to be adjusted. Seriously. We need more than 10 commandments to follow out for the rest of our lives. We need more. Just because every scenario is going to be different. For every person, every scenario is going to be different for that person. We're not going to act like we're all the same, because we're not. That's what makes us great. It's because we're all different. We're all human. We all bring something different to the table, but we all bringing the same shit to the table, if you get what I'm saying. So to leave it off, or to leave this episode off, just remember, God gave us reasons, not religion. And if you are like me and you question the 10 commandments, hopefully at this point in time, I just gave you more questions to think about. Or maybe you on the same page with me and you like, you know what? I feel you on that shit. Or I understand. We could talk about it. Put this shit in the comments, please. Again, I want to build a community. I want to build like-minded people like me so we can have these open discussions. I can't be the only one out here that has this same mindset, you know, or I shouldn't say the same mindset. I can't be the only one who has this mindset. There's got to be other people that are asking questions and that want answers. Some of the answers we're just not going to get. It's just the way of life. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not getting every single answer, right? But I do like the fact that I am able to be open and I'm able to have an opinion and I'm able to question things that I hear. And I just don't take them as this. That's the word. They always say trust but verify. I feel like along the way, we've all, including me, along the way, we've all lost the whole verification. We just stopped verifying shit. And we just start taking shit as face value. That's what it is. That's what it's always been. I'm not going to change it. And that's because we're scared of change. Thanks for listening. All right, listener. So this podcast, wait, shit. Let me start that over. All right. This podcast is produced by me. I'm the only one behind the scenes making this podcast happen. So listening and spreading the word would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sure your brain to thank your I'm sure your ears to thank your brain later. Inconsistently consistent. I'm out.